The time has come for the social season.
Tighter!
She to breathe, Mama.
My name is Lady Whistledown. You do not know me, but I know you. This is what they have been trained for since birth. Which young ladies might succeed at securing a match?
Hola, Anthony. How are you? ¿Cómo estás?
I'm very good. How are you?
Are you saying your character's name? Hola, Jonathan. How are you?
I go by Anthony now. I've been doing interviews for the last 3 days, so I don't know who Johnny is and who Anthony is. I don't know where the boundary lies.
Hola, ¿cómo están? How are you guys?
Hello. I love your background.
Yeah, I think I've met those guys.
You know, guys, it's a great poster. Well, it's a great show. So I'm very happy to talk to you guys. I'm very excited because I didn't know that I needed a sexy British telenovela in my life, but I did.
Well, we are very happy to provide that. We are delighted.
I think that's what should be on the poster. I didn't know I needed a British sexy telenovela in my life. And yeah, I did.
And your characters, Penelope and Eloise, I love them. They are the best. Thank you so much. You bring so much joy to the show and make the show so much better. So I really appreciate you both.
Oh, thank you
so much.
Who knew that Shonda and Chris wanted to do a sexy British telenovela? I mean, we know them from Grey's Anatomy. We know them from Scandal. How has it been working with them?
Yeah, I mean, such a joy. The fact that Shondaland and Netflix are pairing up to do a period drama is just a dream come true in my book.
But when you work with Shondaland and Chris, they're like swans. You know, they're so elegant and easy and a very oiled machine, and they know what they're doing. They know how to tell the stories. They know how to trust their storytelling, and they know how to make things relevant and make an audience feel seen in the representation within the show.
I think there's something really clever about accepting and portraying that art is supposed to change, it's supposed to be organic, it's supposed to move with us. Do you know what I mean? And I understand the desire to be traditional, but actually, like, it should only be celebrated that we have something as glorious as what we believe to be the early 1800s and how magical it must have looked with the speed and wit that we live with today. I think that's the most exciting thing to do. And that's, what Shonda's done beautifully.
I've been a fan of Shonda for a long time and her shows and what they've managed to create, and you know, the women that they've managed to portray and the diversity that they portray. And I think that's all something that is really brought to life in this period drama, which, I mean, it has an element of everything, which I think is what makes it so relatable and great to watch, you know.
Hey, do you like all of these really hugely successful, brilliant, like witty, fast-paced shows? It's like, cool. Do you also love the idea of how beautiful the early 1800s is? Well, shmush 'em, because that's what the show is. That's the most exciting thing in the world.
And who knew that Shonda wanted to show so many butts, right?
I mean, there's butts for days, and it's right away.
Butts.
There's no shortage of great butts in this show.
So many good butts.
Has anyone else read what Lady Whistledown has written of late? Do not tell me that is yet another scandal. This one is different. This subject's my name.
The production is beautiful. The costumes, the sets, the locations. Were you guys transported when you were there for the first time wearing the costumes? How did it feel?
Yeah, I mean, it felt amazing. I think I remember going into the first costume fitting and it'd just be like a warehouse full of these costumes that were just being made for Bridgerton, and how many people were working on these costumes alone.
There's such attention to detail in everything. Like, you know, there's little flowers that are hand embellished with crystals. Then you're in real buildings that these Regency balls did happen in, and everyone around you is dressed so beautifully. So there are moments where it feels like real magic. It's so spectacular.
Felt like a model at Madame Tussauds in London. It felt like an amazing sort of piece of art, and to be a part of something so beautiful and so robust just gives you so much confidence, I guess, to go and tell the story and to make sure that you have really good fun and play around with it as much as you can.
And then going and visiting these incredible sets, you know, we filmed all over England. We filmed in every castle you can imagine. on every famous location that any period drama's ever shot in. So the whole experience of that was incredible, and honestly did quite a lot of the work for us. You know, being in those rooms with those outfits, you're already there. You know, you're there.
Lady Whistledown has all but declared me ineligible.
Whistledown.
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 If I'm unable to find a husband, I shall be ruined.
Perhaps there is an answer.
Many of the themes of the show, it's marriage and romance back in the 1800s. Have your views on romance and marriage changed after doing the show?
Good question. I think romance, I don't think I'll ever waver away from. I think it's one of the most important things, and I think love is the thing that keeps us going. Marriage, yeah, I've got questions about marriage. I think how lucky we are now to be in a society where the majority of us, especially in the West, can love who we want, when we want. And, you know, we don't need necessarily marriage to give us self-esteem in our union.
I think what the show does is show that, like, it starts out as a love, like love starts out as a feeling, but then like it really becomes a skill more than anything if it's to be maintained. And they all sort of show how, you know, Daphne and Simon have got such a complex like love and their relationships, you know, there's so much going on there that's not being spoken about. And then, you know, with Violet Bridgerton, who talks about the love of her late husband, sort of shows that, yes, you can fall in love, but to maintain that's actually like an incredible skill. And that's what I think this show shows.
I think the most beautiful thing about the relationship between these two main characters is how they allow each other to grow, to become more than they were at the beginning, to understand more about vulnerability and about the strength that comes from being vulnerable with someone you trust, and how that allows you to be loved and to love someone else more fully. And I think that they're going to keep learning those lessons for the rest of their lives. I don't think you reach an end point with that. Love is work, but it's the most beautiful work that you can engage yourself in.
I think I may be a bit of a cynic when it comes to that, but then there was one day, and I won't say what scene it was because it would be a huge spoiler, but we filmed something and everyone started crying because it was just so beautiful, and it really was like, this is so romantic, oh my god. And I think we haven't seen romance really celebrated to this extent on television before, so I'm very excited to see, for people to see it and to share it all.
We could pretend to form an attachment.
Pairing like that would be most enchanting indeed.
Every presumptuous mother in town will leave me alone, and every suitor will be looking at you. Stare into my eyes. If this is to work, you must appear madly in love.
And speaking of the 1800s, before we go, what would you bring back, if you could, from those times to modern times?
I've been saying the garden party, an extravagant garden party. Now, we've had to kind of bring them back this year because that's the only place you've really been allowed to be, is in your back garden. So I'd like to make the most of that, like another extravagant garden party reemergence. What about you, Nick?
I wouldn't bring back all of the courtship rituals, they're too much, but I do love the fact that if a guy likes you, he'll come to your house with presents and maybe a puppy. So I feel like there's absolutely room to bring that back. That would be excellent.
Yeah. I think like the idea of just like jumping on a horse and just going for a little trot around Hyde Park, I think that's a really cool and quite a chic way of traveling. You know, now we have Boris bikes and we have jump bikes, and I think horses have slightly more personality than bikes.
Top hat and cane, preferably bejeweled, both of them.
What about you, Phoebe? Would you bring something back?
I wouldn't bring the corsets back. What would I bring back? Actually, I would steal a corset, but I wouldn't wear it every day. I would probably bring back... Oh, that's a really good question. The dress. I mean, I'd quite like to wear a nice silky dress every now and again. That would be quite nice.
The Duke truly has put your head in a spin. Is it awful that I'm enjoying it?
Thank you so much, guys. It's an amazing show. It's so much fun. I adore the show.
You're lovely.
So fun. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
It's lovely to
Thank you, and thank you for your amazing background. You're so cool.
Look at you, that's so cool.
I mean, just look at that. It's amazing.
I know. It's the wisteria that I love, which kind of goes with your pink backdrop.
Yeah. And again, we needed this. It's so positive in an amazing way.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm really glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, guys.
Take care.